Well, good evening and welcome to the very last broadcast of the month of August. Tonight, right here at Hope TV with me, Sammy Adika. I do hope you had a fantastic Saturday from wherever you are watching Newswatch. Now, starting us off in Kisumu County, while winding up his 4-day working tour in the vast Nyanza region, President William Ruto yet again reiterated his administration's commitment in ensuring that every part of the country experienced development despite their political affiliation. Speaking at Kondele in Kisumu City, the head of state defended his broad-based government approach, noting that it is the means to end the division experienced in the country before, while applauding former Prime Minister Raila Odinga for heeding his call for national unity and vowed to ensure he clinches the Africa Union Commission chairmanship. Let's listen in to what transpired in Kisumu City.
Mheshimiwa Rais, na kushukuru kwa kuchukua Mheshimiwa Wandai na John Mbadi, na kwa mara ya kwanza katika historia ya Kenya, jamii ya Wajaluo hapa wameingia wakakaa kwa kiti ya National Treasury. Haijawahi fanyika. Mheshimiwa Rais, wewe pamoja na baba mushikane, muinganishe nchi ya Kenya kutoka Vanga mpaka Nyatike Uothorumo, kutoka Mageta mpaka Todonyangu huko Turkana, kutoka Mount Kenya mpaka hapa Gembe Hills. Muunganishe Kenya na ufanye kazi yako ya kikatiba ya kuleta Wakenya pamoja.
Kondele ndiyo headquarters ya siasa ya Kenya nzima. Naomba kwamba uwapatie hawa vijana sehemu ambao wanaweza kufanyia kazi hapa sehemu ya Kondele na Kisumu.
Mr. President, I want to thank you. This is the home of Raila Amolo Odinga. And we have been worried when we've been told about shareholding company. Thank you for bringing Kisumu back into the fold, because Luos are Kenya and you are the president of Kenya. Asante sana, thank you very much.
Wangapi wamekubaliana na sisi ya kwamba tutembee pamoja na Rais Ruto? Mimi sina mengi ila tu kushukuru Mheshimiwa Rais kwa kuamua kuunganisha Wakenya wote wawe kitu kimoja. Sisi tukiendelea mbele tutazidi kushikana mkono kama Wakenya.
Sisi zote tumekubaliana chini ya rais tuunganisha Wakenya tukue kitu kimoja. Na mimi nimetembea hapa Kisumu, mnataka nirudi tena?
Well, still in Kisumu, and as President William Ruto continue enjoying a newfound friendship with opposition leader Raila Odinga, the head of state earlier in the day experienced a unique reception in Kisumu County, where he pledged to ensure his government creates job opportunities for the youth in the region. Now, President Ruto called on the youth to take advantage of the construction of the 2,384-unit Lumumba Estate Affordable Housing Project in Kisumu Central, which is part of the 10,000 units set to be built in Kisumu County under the housing program. In his 4-day tour, the head of state launched several projects in the ODM leader's political turf, which he stressed is set to revolutionize the lakeside economy.
Mimi nataka niwatangazie vijana muko? Kisumu Dala muko? Kisumu Pacho muko? Sikizeni. Nimesema hivi. Baada ya mwezi moja, si ndio? Nitarudi hapa na mpango mwingine wa kupanga ajira ya mtaani ya hawa vijana wa hapa Kisumu hapa chini. Na sio Kisumu peke yake, Kenya mzima. Wanisaidie kupanga mambo ya mazingira, wanisaidie kupanga mambo ya usafi, wanisaidie kuhakikisha ya kwamba ile shida ya climate change isitutatize tena kama Wakenya, isituletee maafa na isituletee matatizo. Hapa Kisumu County tutajenga nyumba 10,000 Kisumu County. Leo nimeanzisha the first 2,300 houses. Tutahitaji vijana 15,000 wa kufanya hiyo kazi. Nyinyi vijana wa Nyakachi, nyinyi vijana wa Kisumu, muko tayari kwa hiyo mpango? ama nyinyi ni wale wa kuchagua jembe? Si tulikubaliana kazi ni kazi? Tunahitaji architect, engineer, physical planner, mason, carpenter, electrician, steel fixer, transporter, mtu ya mkono. Nyinyi mtashindwa na hiyo kazi yote mimi nimesema.
Now, away from that, Teen Challenge Kenya, a Christian rehabilitation center which aims to help people who are struggling with drugs and alcohol, early in the day held a community awareness event at one of its centers in Kiambu County. The event aims to recognize and appreciate partners and individuals who have supported the ministry over the years. And as Alice Diana reports, the center has reached over 600 addicts in the country, with 83% of them having successfully completed their one-year program.
According to NACADA's National Survey on the Status of Drugs and Substance Use in Kenya, conducted in 2022, 1 in every 6 Kenyans aged 16 to 65 years were currently using at least one drug or substance of abuse. In order to narrow this gap and create an addiction-free society for Christ, Teen Challenge Kenya, a faith-based rehabilitation center, has been conducting a 12-month program to help people who are struggling with drugs and alcohol. Teen Challenge, which has over 1,200 centers across the globe, came in Kenya in 2008.
So Teen Challenge in Kenya, we have 3 centers. We have a center right here in Marshall Estate for ladies and a separate center for men. Then we also have a center in Nakuru.
According to Teen Challenge Kenya Program Director Masindiru, over 600 Kenyans have successfully completed the one-year program.
So we can say we have done over 600 people since that time, and we can actually say, because our program is faith-based, we can talk about an 83% success rate of people who have come through the program, which is a one-year program, have committed to be here for the 1 year, and then completed and gone off to practice what you were taught. That is a success rate of 83%.
Those who have undergone the program and completed narrated their past experiences and how their lives have been transformed.
I had struggles with concept of myself, and I ended up using alcohol and drugs, which became a really major struggle in my life. And I tried so many ways. I had so many attempts to help myself, but it wasn't until 2019 ikienda kuisha when I met with a friend who introduced me to Teen Challenge. And at Teen Challenge is when God started restoring me, because I started seeking Him. I got born again earlier, but then now in Teen Challenge I got the space and time to really yearn and seek after God. And he graced me, and I got to understand myself, and He restored me.
I was able to come here in November of 2015, and I was able to finish the program in November of 2016. Yeah, so after Teen Challenge, I went to Bible school. I finished Bible school, graduated in 2021. Right now I'm a pastor and also working in Teen Challenge right now. I came back to serve. Yeah, so that basically I'm just passionate about helping the people who are in addiction and struggling with addiction.
The alumni of the Teen Challenge program have advised those who are still struggling with addiction not to lose hope and be willing to work on themselves.
I'd love to encourage someone not to give up, and don't seek help anywhere else. Don't be cheated that you are born to be an addict. Just seek help by reading the Word of God. Just find assistance from someone who acknowledges God.
Yeah, one thing I'll tell somebody who is going through addiction is that never give up, and as long as you're breathing, there's always hope. I had lost all hope, but God gave me a second chance in life. So there's always hope. There's always hope as long as you're believing and you're willing to work on yourself.
The head of social action and advocacy at CITAM, Reverend Anthony McKenna, has praised Teen Challenge for being a key part of bringing turnarounds in families.
So coming here today is two-pronged. Number one, to support the ongoing work by Teens Challenge in their great effort of rehabilitating sons and daughters who are affected by drugs and alcohol. And number two, CITAM, through social work and advocacy, has continued to support their work monetarily, and so we have come to stand with them and to support and encourage what they are doing. They are a very key part of bringing turnarounds in families.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Well, many thanks, Alice Diana, for that specific report. Now, away from that, on Friday evening, members of the Institute of Certified Secretaries gathered in Nairobi for their annual dinner, celebrating achievements in administrative excellence and fostering connections among professionals in the field. The event not only highlighted individual achievements, but also reinforced ICS commitment to advancing professional standards in secretarial practice.
The ICS 29th annual dinner held on Friday evening in Nairobi celebrated past achievement while also serving as a crucial platform for envisioning future objectives and reinforcing community connections within the professional sphere.
And all these
keynote speakers, including Control of Budget Margaret Nyakango, delivered an inspiring address on governance, transparency and accountability.
And we would want to partner together with the Institute as ESCC so that we can work out programs through which we can work together to enhance ethical conduct in every aspect of our society. Before we came here, we were just talking about how we have gone down and down in this matter of ethics and the way we are bringing up our younger generation. The whole issue of respect for authority, respect for seniority is really going down, and we do not know where we will be if we do not do something to mitigate this slide.
But I know that as fellows, there are those values that we stand for. We become fellows after a long, arduous journey in the profession. And those who are there can tell you that. Now, through that journey, we go through what we call the University of Hard Knocks. What we don't have is fellow of hard knocks. I think that qualification should also be brought up on a light note. But having gone through this University of Hard Knocks, I can tell you that even what my colleague there from ESCC said about ethical leadership may not really be the elephant in the house. The problem is accountability and transparency. And that is what I stand for.
However, awards were presented to outstanding members who demonstrated exceptional commitment to the profession.
It is therefore incumbent upon each of the organizations to embrace creativity, innovation, agility, modern technology and good governance in order to adapt to and thrive in the ever-changing work environment. Indeed, I have no doubt that our organizations in both the sectors have the necessary human resource capacities and collaborations to continue driving our nation to greater socio-economic development.
The ICS 29th annual dinner not only highlighted individual achievements, but also reinforced ICS commitment to advancing professional standards in secretarial practice. Dolly Mwirigi for Hope TV.
Well, thank you, Dolly Mwirigi for the report. Now on matters education, Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers KUPPET in Bungoma County have now threatened to disrupt learning in primary schools within the county in a bid to mount pressure on their employers, the Teacher Service Commission TSC, to heed their demands. Speaking outside Bungoma TSC offices, the teachers led by their secretary, Augustine Lucatello, say they will not call off the strike up until their demands are fully addressed, claiming TSC has for a long time assumed the calls or other calls to improve teachers' welfare.
We are saying as a union, we shall continue with the strike whether with money or no money. Our demands remain: 1, confirmation of 46,000 interns. 2, promotion of teachers 130,000. Again, we are demanding the CBG to go. They revert back to the old system of promotions. If Naz Majaria is not able to listen to us, we are going to force her to speak to us. We are happy as our union teachers have been paid. And I want to tell you, my colleagues teachers, you've received that money. Use that money to strike. We do not want to see any teacher in schools. We do not want to see students in schools. And our colleagues in the primary schools in Bungoma County, make sure on Monday we do not have anybody in the schools.
Well, we shall be taking a short commercial break, but remember, once we are back, we'll be taking a look on a special feature, that is Tear Gas Terror, by one of our very own. Make sure you don't miss that specific bit of tonight's news. Well, don't go too far.
To get Wewe ni Mungu by Evelyn Wanjiru as your Skiza tune, SMS the word Skiza 88300028 and send to 811. Hope Skiza, spreading the hope.
Umepigana vita zangu, nakupa ibada ya moyo wangu usiku wa leo.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better, Sindio.
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcast?
Really? Even Meet of the World?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
This week on Testify.
I regularly pray for my sister's marriage. Because both my parents were not there. They had gone to be with the Lord. And as the elder brother, it was my responsibility to ensure that she would settle down and get married. And so I would regularly pray for that. My personal conviction is that if we trust the Lord and wait upon Him, the Bible talks about the steps of a good person being ordered by the Lord.
Yes.
Psalms 37 and 23. And Romans 12:2, that you will know the good, the perfect, acceptable will of God.
Only on Hope TV. Look and live.
Well, welcome back. Do remember to get in touch with us through our socials at Hope TV Kenya. Now, in the Western region, a section of Chesikaki residents in Mount Elgon, Bungoma County, earlier in the day held peaceful protests decrying of increased cases of accidents in Konambaya area along the Cheptais-Chwele Road. Their concerns comes barely hours after 12 people were seriously injured after the vehicle they were traveling in lost control and overturned along the road. The residents are now calling on the government to ensure traffic police officers are stationed specifically in the area to help curb such cases that have been on the surge in the recent past.
Juzi tumepoteza kijana ambaye alikuwa anaendesha pikipiki. Nikawa niko hospitali. Wakati amefikishwa hospitali ile ambayo mmeraise kuwa level 3A. Level 3A hamna madaktari. Hatuna ambulance. Hakuna madawa. Mtureisie hiyo level 3A na mtupatie ambulance kwa sababu hapa ndio black spot.
Ndio Mheshimiwa William Samuel Ruto tuoneke. Ukitoka Kisumu ukuje utuondolee barabara na ifungwe watu wetu wanaokoa.
Chesikaki yetu police station ni station kubwa lakini haina hata gari hata moja. Ajali inapopatikana wanatumia pikipiki. Pikipiki nayo hata siku hizi inarusha watu chini. Sasa tunaenda wapi?
Mheshimiwa Mount Elgon, sikiza unielewe na unielewe. Hii barabara kutoka hapa Cheskaki ambayo inatoka Chwele ikielekea Cheskaki imetengenezwa vibaya hapa kutoka police station mpaka imewekewa jina inaitwa Konambaya. Na imemaliza watu wetu. Sasa hata hatujui hao wamekufa wangapi.
Now, away from matters road safety, in efforts to promote inclusivity among people living with disabilities, PWDs, the society has been called upon to create opportunities where everyone can thrive irrespective of their physical or mental capabilities. Now, this comes even as the inaugural Mr. and Miss Inclusivity 2024 beauty contest has been held in Nairobi, an event that attracted over 15 participants who are abled differently. And as Grace Ahati reports, individuals have been urged to shift from feelings of pity towards PWDs by fostering their empowerment and support.
As part of the efforts to promote inclusivity, especially in the society's beauty industry, youths living with various disabilities have participated in a beauty contest dubbed Mr. and Miss Inclusivity 2024. The pageant, which attracted over 100 participants on the onset, has seen over 15 youths living with disabilities showcasing their unique abilities as they vie for the prestigious titles. According to Mumbiko Kingoro, who is the chair of the event's organizing committee, the primary goal of this pageant is to combat the stereotypes and stigma often associated with persons with disabilities.
We did the auditions and we scaled up to 30. Of course, there have been other tests, that is etiquette, creativity and all that, and now we have 15 of them doing the finals. And today we'll have the winner for Mr. and Miss Inclusive Kenya. We have those with autism, we have those with cerebral palsy, physical disability, and many other challenges. We also have plus size, and we are happy that this day is here.
According to Stephen Zusa, one of the event organizers, for far too long, PWDs have been marginalized and excluded from mainstream societal activities.
The truth is the world needs to know you exist. The world needs to know you as a person are also coherent. You can speak. You as a person have gone to school. Today we have people who are here that nobody even expects them to be lawyers. We already have 2 lawyers today out here. I actually have someone who is doing engineering. I have someone who is doing something around hospitality, and all of them are from the special category. So why are we hiding them? Young people, come out and let the world know the beauty within you.
On her part, Top Beauty College Chief Executive Officer Jen Kanampio has urged both government and society at large to embrace this initiative as a vital step towards inclusivity.
The government should always look upon them because they are also people. Kindly, I ask them to look upon people with disability with a lot of care. That's why we showcase today, to show them there are so many. Actually, when we advertised, they are applying over 100 participants. and we are able to go down to 20% participants.
The participants have also expressed immense joy at being part of such a rare opportunity, hailing their growing recognition and representation in the society.
I think I'm the happiest guy to be here. Despite me having a disability, I've been given an opportunity to express what I have. You know, in the world which you are living, we as people living with disability, we have many talents, but people doesn't have the idea of the talent we have.
This title, if at all I'll win, will give me a voice to air the grievances of persons with disability. Yes, it feels amazing because I feel it's bringing me to the limelight.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Well, many thanks, Grace Ahati. And right to our day's report. Protests are a big part of today's world, an avenue to express anger or frustration in order to seek change or accountability in matters politics, society, and the economy. In Kenya, the right to protest is entrenched in Kenya's constitution under Article 37, which states that every person has the right to peacefully and unarmed assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to the public authority. Well, while protests play an important role in allowing people voice their concerns and about injustices, they also come with challenges that may impact both mental and physical health. Our reporter Dolly Murigi tells us more on tear gas terror report.
The recent surge of violence associated with the anti-government protest has raised concerns of the loud explosion from tear gas affecting a number of people. Recently, major cities in the country have been filled with a thick smoke from tear gas. Young protesters carrying placards and water bottles encountered tear gas smoke thrown to them by the police as they demonstrate in order to disperse them. My name is Dolly Murigi. I am a journalist working with Hope Media in Kenya. I didn't cover the recent protest firsthand as I was assigned a different task in the newsroom. However, my colleagues Prince Mwangi and Sammy Adika were actively reporting on what was happening on the ground, and here are the experiences.
We really tried going through. Later on, I got chest infection, campaigning through. There are a lot of tear gas that to intake during that time.
In the near future, one of the most important things as a journalist, and I would always make sure I have, is protective gears, from mask, from to head gears, and also just chest vest, making sure that I keep safe while updating Kenyans.
Psychologists say that loud bangs from exploding tear gas canisters used to disperse protesters are capable of inducing acute anxiety and varying levels of fear among individuals exposed to these situations, especially those who have experienced trauma in the past.
We usually say we have a hormone that's within our mind that's called that's produced by an organ called amygdala. So within that organ, the hormone that is produced can create three reactions. You can either flee, you can either freeze, or you can fight. So you will find as agencies out there, in the short term, out of hearing that bang, or even hearing that canister that has been drawn, fear will, in the short term, come in. Then with it also, there are a bit of anxiety, which can be brought about with either you'll see palpitation, one's heart beating, either someone, like now when we are saying you'll freeze, you'll find others probably then peeing on themselves, going a number one. So basically it is a place of saying, yes, there's a mental effect to the mandamanos that we are having. But it's up to us to be able to address these people and find out how far or how much have they been really affected.
Patient Mwema, a clinical psychologist, explains that people with post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) are most likely to be triggered by the sounds associated with tear gas.
You'll find someone has lost a friend. They went probably a brother and a sister for Mandamano, and they lost their sibling in that. They lost a friend who was probably on the forefront. So it will definitely affect them because there's that bit of being in denial. Yes, my friend had gone out to fight for that right that every one of us is really looking out for, that change that every one of us is looking out for. So basically it can bring in the stress in the long term, which again can affect one's sleep patterns. And it can also affect how probably sometimes you think, because you can even just go blank.
In addition to mental health concern, crowded gatherings during protest can expose participants to harmful air pollutant or irritants that may cause respiratory issues. This is especially true if tear gas or other crowd control measures are used by the law enforcement during the protest.
And what these chemicals do is when they get onto the surface, they interact with the cells of the body. There are certain parts of the cell we call receptors. Receptors are that part of the cell which makes a cell react in a particular way. So when these gases get in touch with that receptor, they trigger pain, and depending on the organ affected, different reactions can occur. For example, if it is a nerve cell which is touched, pain can result. If it is the eye, then you get pain in the eye and tearing. If it is the airway, you may find someone producing a lot of mucus. The airway may try to close up, or what we call bronchospasm. The airway goes into a spasm. People start coughing. They may have difficulty in breathing, wheezing, and even chest pain. So different parts of the body can be affected by these gases.
However, exposure to tear gas can cause serious breathing problems for individuals with some underlying health conditions.
If one has a condition like asthma and they're exposed to this gas frequently, we do know that they can get more difficult to control asthma. Some researchers have also said that there is a possibility the exposure to tear gas may cause increased tendency to get infections easily. For example, even simple old-fashioned influenza can attack a person who has recently been exposed to tear gas easier compared to that person who has not been exposed. Some papers actually on research have said that it is possible this could even, the exposure could even lead to cancers. But you see, if it is 1 or 2 cases which are reported, one may not put a stamp that it does cause cancer. But there is that fear that if there is repeated or long-term exposure, it may lead to some forms of cancer.
When exposed to tear gas, it is crucial to take immediate and effective precautions to minimize its effect, as the pulmonologist tells us.
The most important thing is, number one, move away from where that canister has exploded and there's a huge, thick cloud of the gas. Number two is getting rid of the powder or the gas from your skin. And how do we do that? Number one is removing the clothes which are contaminated if one can. I'm imagining someone running in town removing their clothes. That will be a bit difficult. But as soon as you can, please remove those clothes. Thoroughly wash your face, wash your body if the exposure is everywhere. And I have seen people using Colgate or other kind of toothpastes. Those may not really help. So just old-fashioned water and soap is important. Remember, if the clothes are exposed to the powder, they may remain contaminated for a long time. So sometimes just washing once may not be enough. You may need to wash several times to get rid of that powder from the clothes.
While protests play an important role in allowing people to voice their concerns about injustices, they also come with challenges that can impact both mental and physical health.
It is us to create that support system back even at home and just offer a listening ear and offer even as the government solutions to what we are saying, because where we sit as therapists, we feel it's a place of Gen Zs and even the nation at large being listened to so that we can be able to support them. So what I can say, it is something that we can really, really work on. It's not like it's something, yes, the short-term and the long-term effects that are quite psychological, they can be handled, and that is through therapy. And as I said, we have pro bono services that are being provided, and also we have now the support I am saying, like back at home. Can we be able to listen to these people and tell them, yes, we are hearing you? When it comes to the journalists like you, so when you come back to the workplace, have we been given probably a place of debrief? Because yes, you have gone to the field, you have seen that dead body, you have seen that young person being battered around and pulled up and down before you go tomorrow for work. Can we have a place where, as organization also, we are providing a safe place for the journalists, for the medics, so that they can be able to say, yes, yesterday we went and this is how we were able to handle the situation.
Dolly Mureki Movie for Hope TV.
Well, thank you, Dolly Mweregi Mbuvi, for the tear gas terror report. That marks the end of our bulletin tonight. My name is Sammy Adika, and do have a lovely night and all the best as we begin a new month of September. Good night.